Welcome to Club Wisdom 8. We've looked into Hive and now it's time to go even deeper. We're going to look at their parent company, Vespa. Vespa, according to most, have just one game behind them. Actually, there's a bit more than that. And yeah, you really got to watch not only this video, but especially the next video to find out what's going on and where Shining Force is at the moment. Okay, please enjoy. Thank you, and please like and subscribe, and please write something in the comments. Like, just let me know what you're thinking about Shining Force. Thank you. All the best. Now, let's talk about Vespa. I've typed Vespa in and I typed Korea. Okay, so first of all, we have something that looks like a motorcycle, and then we have the game company. So thank goodness it comes up as number 2. But very strange. Vespa Inc. Okay, so bit of a weird one, but easier to find. So what is Vespa about? Okay. Clearly, it looks like they're about King's Raid. Now, I know I've heard a lot of people saying, yeah, they made King's Raid, they made King's Raid, they made King's Raid. Well, I'm going to tell you something. They didn't just make King's Raid. And again, I've said before, they didn't even make King's Raid. That's why I was so shocked. So what is King's Raid anyway? Well, let's put it this way. King's Raid is certainly a big budget game. There has been a lot of money poured into it, and what this game actually is, I would say is quite amazing for a mobile game. In fact, it's definitely probably among the top 5 of games that are actually quite kind when it comes to gatcha. King's Raid is actually quite a beautiful game to play. Hero collection type game, and perhaps you could say there's a bit of idleness to it. And you're going against all these monsters and going through the game. Now, what maybe sets King's Raid as being very different to other games? Well, let me explain. Of course, in this game there are some issues that are like problems for like whales and stuff. But actually, still, even if you're free to play, although of course you'll never be able to keep up with whales, you can still keep up with the game to a very high extent. And the music in the game is absolutely wonderful. The voice acting as well is on another level. So when I said this game is very fair compared to other gacha games, maybe you've played games that are much better, but I'm saying for me this is like, for a mobile, this is literally like a AAA title, so you don't really get so much fairness. Let me give you another example, like for example as to why this game's very fair. Skip tickets. Normally in games you have to pay for skip tickets, or you have to do something for skip tickets. They've updated the game to just allow you to skip without using tickets. And that's what I've heard. I haven't tried it myself, but you don't get that. You don't get farming literally done for you. So even if there is farming in Shining Force, eventually, perhaps, actually Vespa might be a bit more kind than you think. To begin with, the user interface in this game is like a godsend. It's absolutely unbelievable. And this game is great for updating. The amount of updating this game does is very kind, patching heroes and how often they do it. There are some major, some huge events that happen like every few months, and very kindly for a gacha game, the rewards in this game are very, very kind, unlike many other gacha games. Now, the anniversary awards are supposed to be like top of the tops, and if you are a new player to the game, you're able to actually get one of the very special weapons in under a month, which is supposed to be actually very good. And among that, the big thing, as I've said earlier, is about the story. Something big about King's Raid is that they care about the story to a very, very high level. And there's literally no player, every player who plays this game will always say they love the story. Now, other things apart from loving mobile games, a big point of Vespa unusually is that they actually listen to what the gamers want. Take that into consideration. They listen to what the gamers want. I mean, a lot of companies do not. And I'm going to also say that because this is Vespa's first major game, but they didn't make it. They bought this game. I think they bought it from a Thailand company, or they bought the company in around 2016, and then they released it under Vespa from 2017. And it's now 2022, and this game is still going strong. So after 5 years, they still kept going with the game. It's not like they kept the game and then they didn't throw it away. So what does that tell you about what they're going to be doing for Shining Force? Those who play King's Raid are always happy to say that they actually never get bored of the game, which is quite weird after 5 years. So I really wonder if Vespa are really behind Shining Force, then wow, this is going to be interesting. Let's find out more. What can we find out about Vespa? If I click on them, where do we go? Okay, so again, they focus on King's Raid, and I must say this website looks amazing. I mean, what is the Shining Force website going to look like? I'm still trying. I'm still like putting different, I'm typing different words, not coming up with much. I don't think I'll Google Translate this, but history of Vespa 2.0. I mean, whatever that is, what does Vespa 2.0 mean? If that means NFTs, then I think everything I've said is going to be going down the drain. I'm not an NFT fan personally. Okay, let's see if we can grab something. Vespa means long-lived wasp. Yep, okay, so it's a long-lived wasp and is so brave and aggressive, there's no natural enemies. Okay, so Vespa are going to take over everything. Okay, I got it. Where's the 2.0? Okay, Vespa Lee Wan-Su appointed as new CEO. Okay, so there's a new CEO, I wonder why. And that doesn't sound good. Vespa CI embodies the image of a long-lived wasp again. Core values, self-direction, sincerity, user-centered thinking. So seems to be something that Vespa, they probably tell Vespa to do the same. We do have a phone number for them. If anyone fancies giving them a call and you know Korean, find out what's going on with Shining Force and where are they located in Gangnam. So that's easy. So Gangnam style, very good. That's actually quite a trendy and hip place. What else can we find out about Vespa? So games. From what I know is, Vespa have only created one game. Remember, King's Raid was purchased. Yeah, King's Raid was purchased, but what I find weird is that there is another game. And why isn't it? Okay, news. Okay, we might have to have a look at that in a minute. But why isn't the game on their website? And why isn't there much English? Are they really not? Are they only interested in their Korean shareholders? So is this... Whoa, what is this? So, for me, I'm like... This is the first time I've seen this. I didn't expect to see it. So share disclosure. So it's about... Yeah, it's about if you want to buy... Maybe look at their stock reports and buy their shares. Wow, it's quite Okay, quite unusual. Let's see their news. Any news on Shining Force? Or the other game that they made that they're not showing to anybody. The game they made, actually, Vespa's game, I don't think they made it for Korea. They released it in Japan. I'm going to tell you more about it, but have they actually, has Vespa actually talked about it? So what's the news about? Vespa, King's Raid. Announcement of the setting of base date of the extraordinary general meeting of shareholders. Okay, so the shareholders meeting will come up. Announcement, the 9th extraordinary general meeting of shareholders. Now, if this 9th, so that tells me that's a Q1 meeting. There are 4, so if that's the 9th, yeah, so Vespa in wasn't it not 2018? Yeah, it's 2018. So that means, I'm guessing COVID stopped them having like every single Q1 meeting, because theoretically they should be on like the, I don't know, like the 17th meeting. But I think I understand what's going on. Either way, this meeting might give us a clue to Shining Force, so I'm going to have a look at that. Vespa opens a King's Raid event. Vespa opens King's Raid event. But what about the game they released in Japan? Okay, so this is where they unveiled Shining Force. Meaning that this came 6 months ago. Meaning that they only normally put one thing up. Now, Vespa unveils Shining Force. Tentative name, so they might change it. Now, this is interesting because they say Vespa unveils it. They don't say Hive unveils it. So that gives me more inclination that the people behind who are going to make this game are definitely Vespa. And if you can see in the picture, it has Sega, then Vespa, then Hive. So maybe Vespa are coming first. But I mean, what else? What else have they done? Where is the other game that came out in Japan and, according to people on the internet, flopped? Vespa signs. Okay, that's weird. So Vespa signs. Yeah. So Vespa Japan subsidiary Hive signs the IP license. Okay. So there's 2 things from Vespa. Yeah. Here's the game. Time Defenders. So I want to talk about that, but. Look at that. Vespa's North American subsidiary, Super Colony. Okay, so Super Colony is for America. So they made a casual action RPG. Now, this is interesting. This is the first time I noticed Super Colony. Why is that important? Because if I can see a game that kind of connects more to Shining Force, then I might get an idea of who's behind it. But it seems to me that maybe Hive are going to be making it. Otherwise they would have used this company. They would have said it. However, there is something else that's very important when it comes to Shining Force. Everything will be continued on the next video. Thank you very much. Please click like and subscribe so that I can update more. All the best. Club Wisdom 8.
warrior devoured by darkness, Kazel. The one who defies destiny, Claws. Now, the final battle to decide fate begins. King's Raid, the final.